It's this movement that, the woke and the Gen Z want this to happen. They want the remote work, which couldn't be further from the truth. What's up, guys, and welcome on into the Work Wherever podcast. I'm your host, Roy Edwards. This is the podcast where we talk about remote work, tech trends, tech pretty much everything. Tech news, artificial intelligence, collaborative intelligence, most importantly, the ability to work wherever so you can live every day like it is Saturday. So today is going to be a quick one. I had this conversation actually with my internal team today about how we're going to start seeing the landscape around the message of remote work change. And it didn't start with Elon Musk, but that seems to be the one who everybody wants to point to these days and talk about. Everybody wants to talk about Elon Musk and sending Twitter employees back and the big layoffs and all that other stuff. And before that, it was Elon talking about Tesla and how he sent all of his Tesla people back and how, that was such a big deal and, oh my goodness, this is the first bit. And then when he said it, a lot of the other tech companies around there, Amazon and stuff like that, were talking about how they were going to grab up all those employees, which maybe they will. I thought that the Tesla, and this is well documented on all my podcasts, I thought that the Tesla return to work was dumb. I think that the Twitter send back is smart for different reasons. One is a culture that exists and you're disrupting it. That is a good culture. You have a good brand and you have good people working for you and your stock was headed up. And then you laid off and sent people back to the office and now you're trending down. The other was a stock that was trending down, was in the news for the wrong reasons, and had not a very good culture, and you disrupted that to send people back and so that they would leave. And that one I thought was a good idea because that was needed to disrupt that culture. Now, when it gets into all of the other things around this topic, I wanted to get into the politics because there is this idea of that this is it's a progressive movement. It's something that the left wants to see. It's this movement that, the woke and the Gen Z want this to happen. They want the remote work, which couldn't be further from the truth. It's not a left-leaning politics type of a topic. It's also not a right-leaning topic. The right, mostly, is it's mostly a blue-collar party. It's a religious party. It is a Southern party, and most of those careers don't have the ability to work remote. Those companies are going to be the companies who are your blue collar, for the most part, right? I'm making sweeping generalizations here. If you look at the voting populace in a mass, then that's the kinds of the Republicans are, and the right is mostly all about hard work, rolling up your sleeves and putting in the work and getting dirty. The left is more a laissez-faire, type of an outlook. The politics behind this is extremely interesting because whenever I look at big things that are happening, I look at the two polars, that being the Republicans and the Democrats. And so the Democrats were actually the first to say go back to the office. It was back in March when President Biden urged people to go back to the office, saying we need to rebuild our cities. He said because of the progress we've made fighting COVID, Americans can now get back to work. They can go to the office and safely fill our great downtown cities again, right? Filling the cities, building up these cities. That's the left side of the argument. They want to rebuild their cities because if you look at the major cities in the United States, LA, Chicago, New York, Houston, these are mostly left-leaning cities. They want to rebuild these. They want to rebuild that economy of their side. They want to rebuild the downtowns. Then you look at the right. And so the GOP, when was this article? This article was published, and it's basically downplaying remote workers, saying that they're lazy. And so there was a group of senators who were saying that there's widespread lack of responsiveness, that people are not paying attention. You know, we wish to express our concern about the widespread lack of responsiveness and accessibility across the federal government on account of our current agency's work plans and request immediate action to transition federal workers back to in-person operations. You know, business have now reopened. Children and teachers have returned to in-person. It's time to get everybody back in the office and stop being lazy. There's this idea that remote work equates to laziness. So on one side, you have the left who is saying, we need to go back and rebuild our cities. The right is saying, stop being lazy and get back. They're both wrong, which is dangerous in this state. Both of them are looking to rebuild the economy through bringing people back into the office. They don't want remote workers because it's bad for the economy. It takes the power out of the major corporations and pushes them into rural America or wherever they want to be, really. And it allows people to live where they want, live how they want, and be where they want, pay taxes where they want, earn income where they want, and do so outside of the big city dreaming. That is a dangerous thing because now you have both political parties that are stating it. And I would say be careful of the politics that are about to happen and about to continue to push as we move into 24. Or 23, sorry. As we move into 23, I'm already in FY 2023 because we follow the federal government, but moving into moving into January, that's the new calendar year. So, but as we move into calendar year 23, be careful. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful what you read. Be careful of the statistics that are being pushed out because there's this narrative that we need in order to save the economy or to be safe or to get back to normal, that we need to get back into the office. But all of the statistics show that people are more productive, they're happier, they are living life better, they are spending more time with their family, with their kids when they are at home. We talk about this wanting to rebuild the American family and that the values of the family, and we talk about how important it is for people to be at the dinner table and to have dinner together as a family, but then we want mom and dad back in the office away from their children. We talk about how important it is that mom and dad are with their kids and they spend time with their children, but then we want the kids back in public school, not educated at home. All of which sounds crazy, but you could work at home, educate your children at home, be at the dinner table at home together, living your lives through a remote economy. And I think that's where we're headed. I think that's where we're going to eventually get to. And I think that the people who are pumping the brakes are the ones who, like I've talked about in the business side of things, are grasping for control. They're trying to grab onto something that existed 3-4 years ago that is slowly slipping out of their hands, and they don't know how to slow the spread, for lack of a better terminology. So I told you I would keep it brief, but that is what we're up against as we head into 23. So as we look to the future of remote work, and we look into the new year, we look into the holiday season, just be reminded of what it's like to spend time with your family. Feel the emotions. Think about the times that you're having. Think about how much fun and energy and, even those debates with your other leaning relative. That is quality time that you'll look to. The older and the more that you move towards life, you'll remember the holidays. And we love those times of the year because we get to take a break from work. We get to spend time with each other who we care about and love, be around the same table and converse around things that we love with people we love. And that is what we're giving up if we head back to this so-called norm of getting back into these downtowns, getting back into these cities, getting back into your cubicles. You are losing your family time. You are losing your ability to travel. You are losing the ability for this self-care movement that we've had over the last 5 years or whatever it is, where people are starting to pay attention to their emotions, to their feelings, to who they are. They're becoming more faith-driven. They're becoming better fathers, better mothers, better parents, better grandparents, better uncles, better people. And if we move back into these cities and we get back away from remote work, we're giving up that. And I just hope we don't go too far back, because at some point we're going to have to go back a little bit. But where's the pendulum land? Be careful what you listen to, be careful what you pay attention to, and be careful what you do over the next 3 months. It will make a bigger deal than you know. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And until next time, salute. Hey there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for all the latest videos from Capital Presence.